All right, so yesterday, I took a quarter of a hit, a half of some MDMA. And this is the second time I've done it in my life. I'm in my 40s. Um, but anyway, those stories are for later. Right now, what I wanted to talk about is the dream that I had last night, right? It's the second time I had a wild and crazy dream. I can't even remember the one I had the first time. I should have I should have recorded myself talking about it. But anyhow, so last night, it kind of started off where I'm in this club. It felt like I was in Wynwood, right? Wynwood is a real trippy place, man. My homie showed me this one club. It was called something levels, something. I don't know, man. And that doesn't matter, right? But in my dream, I was in that club that he told me about, right? And I didn't find out until later because I kind of went outside and I seen the sign and it had the name of that club. Maybe I'll put it in the description, when I get time to look it up. So, and I'm just playing this visual. It's just some trippy stuff, man. Somebody remixed it. So I'm pretty sure it's royalty free, copyright free, whatever. I don't own the copyrights to it, but I'm sure it's cool. If not, YouTube will let me know. So, first off, I'm in the club, and this club has different rooms, and it gets bigger and bigger throughout the dream. You know how these dreams go sometimes, man. But at first, it felt like it was small, and he told me that club was actually small. But he showed me the Instagram of the club, I think, and that's how I got to see some of it. But in my dream, the club looked nothing like the pictures he showed me. So what I first remember is that I went into this vent, almost like the vent in Bone Lab or in certain video games, when you go into the vent. But once you like kind of jump in the vent, it was zero gravity. So there were people, it was small, but for some reason we were still had enough room to pass each other. So there were people coming out, me going in, and everyone's just floating inside the vent. It was trippy. It was so trippy. It was cool though, man. And but I didn't go all the way through. I kind of came back out. I was like, yo, this is weird. Let me go to the other room. There was people partying, but everyone looked kind of weird, kind of strange. Right? But I was having a good time in the club. And then I sort of switched to like a house. It kind of felt like I was in the same area, maybe inside the same club, maybe on the second level, but it was a house and there were people there. China Mac was there. Don't ask me why. I watch some of his videos sometimes. Shout out to him. And my grandfather was there. And there were other people. There was females there, some bad females that I was feeling kind of like attracted to, and lately I've just been focused, you know what I'm saying? Not paying attention to these females every once in a while, yeah, but not making it a priority. But anyway, so there was females that was very attractive in there, different nationalities, and I want to start off with my grandfather. For some reason, it was like my grandfather, he was just in there chilling. I mean, he passed away when I was 18, bro. It's been, my God, 28 years since I haven't seen my grandfather, right? But he was in my dream, and he was a little younger than what I remember. But it was him. And he's chilling. Grandpa was always chill. He was a chill dude, man. You get him excited, it's on. You know what I mean? But for the most part, it was pretty laid back, right? Around me anyway. So he's in there, and we're talking about what I do remember. I'm gonna skip around, and I'm not gonna remember everything, but some of the stuff that I do remember was he was doing Uber. In my dream, he was doing Uber, and it's kind of sick because I seen a statistic not too long ago. Don't get me wrong, Grandpa's always had the tight jobs. He was making $20 an hour 30 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Grandpa's built pools. That's what he did, and he was a man that worked with his hands. He did everything around the house. We never had to call anyone for anything. Not to put the roof on, to the plumbing, to anything. You know what I'm saying? Grandpa fixed everything. I don't remember him ever calling a handyman to come to the house to fix anything. He was one of those men. He built the house we had in Puerto Rico. I helped him build an addition. I was there, watched him work, ordered the truck. cement truck, built the foundation, the whole nine. I even smashed my thumb with a hammer that time. He was laughing. He was laughing because I screamed so hard. He was just laughing. He was like, that was the type of grandpops he was. He wasn't going like, oh, it's going to be okay. Nah, he would laugh. He'd be like, shake it off. You know what I'm saying? Go put something on it. Go to your grandma. Have her put something on it. And that's who raised me, man. My grandparents raised me, right? On my mother's side. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for me for choosing them before I came to this planet. Right? So anyway, this time. Been here for a long time. So anyway, Grandpops is in there. He's just kicking it to me. You know, he doesn't seem too happy. And I guess that's kind of from how the things are going right now. I mean, it's kind of slow right now here in Miami Beach. Uber's slow. Uber Eats is slow. Everything's kind of slow right now. Even the restaurants. I'm going to put up a short on my channel. On my other channel. I got a foodie channel. It's called Soul Bussin'. Can't take the name. I already trademarked everything, right? So anyway. Restaurants are empty. Deliveries are slow. Mad competition. People's losing their jobs. They want to start doing deliveries, right? People coming from other countries. They want to drive for Uber, drive for Lyft. People don't want to tip because they know there's somebody here that's coming from another country that's going to deliver your food 5 miles away for $2, right? So anyhow, we weren't talking about that specifically, but the vibe that I got from the conversation, he was just like, yeah, it was just slow. I can't even remember all the words that were exchanged between me and Grandpops in the dream, man, but that was trippy, man, just seeing Grandpops. And I guess, you know, kind of my mom was letting me know, like, you know, you got grown men, you got grandfathers right now that's got to do Uber, drive for Uber, do Uber Eats, right? And don't get it twisted. There's people that's retired that do it. There's people that got hundreds of thousands in the bank that do it. You know, they don't want to sit around. They don't want to boss, and they just go out and turn the app on, and they could talk to people, go out and see people. So don't knock the hustle, for real. You don't know what anybody makes, and just because they're doing deliveries doesn't mean that they don't have $1 million in the bank. That's just the facts. Especially old heads, you know what I mean? Old heads, they're not too proud. They're not on TikTok or Instagram talking about the bag. Nah, like, they got that money stacked. They go out on vacation, do a little thing every once in a while, but they like doing Uber. I see, there's one old head out here, he told me, he was like, yeah, I got $250,000 in the bank. I got it from a case, from a lawsuit. But, you know, I don't touch that money. I just do this Uber, and I don't touch that money. But he just told me he just came from El Salvador out there to go hit on young girls and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And caught something while he was out there, but I ain't going to put his whole business out there. But he said he got rid of whatever he caught, so good for him. But anyhow, right? So I guess it's like it wouldn't be strange for Gramps to be doing Uber if he was still around. I mean, he'd be old and retired collecting his pension, but I'm just saying if he was younger, it wouldn't be something strange, right? Some of you might have a grandfather that's doing Uber, right? So anyhow, I felt that was a little trippy. The fact that I seen him in my dream, the fact that I seen him a little younger, like, my mom says Gramps died when he was like in his 60s. I think he died when he was in his 50s. I don't be believing everything she say, but I guess I'll just have to look and see. But anyway, he looked younger. He looked like he was probably my age, to keep it 100. Then, but he's like on his couch. He's in this in this room, and there's other people in the house. It's almost like a house, but it's like a WeWork, like a place where like there's mad people that just come in and out of there. So we're like in this living room type area, but it's really big, really spacious, almost like a warehouse type setup, but with different rooms and pretty good vibes in there. You know, everybody in there is just in there, either trying to socialize or just trying to make it in life, right? That's the vibe that I get, that I got. And then there was a part where it was like China Mac was in there. China Mac was kind of like showing me around. We would go out to the city. He was like, yo, let's go here, let's go there. And there was one part where there was a lot of water in one of the sections of the city. Can't say what city we were in. Maybe here in Miami, who knows? But I know the club started off here in Wynwood. It was definitely here. But it was so much rain. But we had these contraptions where they were like those little electric scooters, but they floated on the water. So it was almost like a hydroplane and little electric scooter that we had, right? So somebody's going to invent that eventually, right? Especially now that I thought about it. Obviously, I'm probably not the only person that ever thought about it. But yeah, like a little scooter, something that you hydroplane on in the water, because like the city was just getting flooded. But we was still chilling. We wasn't worried about anything. We was cool, right? With everything being flooded. We was just like, let's roll, right? And he was cool. In the dream, it was almost more like he was guiding me to places and spots to hang out at. I just found that kind of cool. You know what I mean? A little strange, but cool at the same time. And then it was like I was back in the club, but this spot felt like it was the club and the house. So it was like a room where music was playing, and it was like a club set up. But then the other part of the warehouse was like where people actually lived, which would be a cool setup, right? I heard Prince's spot was like that. I mean, where he lived, his compound, he had a club there. And that's kind of like a dream for me. And it wasn't my dream, right? But I didn't own this particular spot. I was just living there. I would like to own a spot like that. So anyhow, man, there's a lot of people in different rooms, some fine, beautiful ladies, man, that I'm just like, man. And then I had to take a dump. So I'm like embarrassed. And there's like different bathrooms, and I'm trying to find a bathroom where like I could go take a dump in private and none of the ladies are going to know, or nobody's going to walk in there and smell it, you know what I'm saying? But every time I was trying to go to a bathroom, there was somebody already in there. And then the way the dream ended, it was like something happened. I don't know if a fire drill went off, fire alarm went off, or something happened, and everyone just starts running out the club, and I couldn't take my dump. But I was still kind of like in a good mood in the dream. But yeah, I think the trippiest thing about it was the club itself in the beginning, and how the vent was like zero gravity and we were just floating through, and the little electric scooters, hydroplane scooters. Yeah, usually my dreams are more that I'm in situations, and it's more about being introspective and seeing how I react to certain situations in my dream, to be able to, when I wake up, look back and fix myself here in this world, in this plane, so that when situations do come up, I'm more witty and I'm more quick-witted, and I'm faster on making my decisions and making the right decisions quickly. But this dream was more just like a trip. It was just a trip. I seen some technology that's not out yet, right? Some cool contraptions that aren't out yet. Hydroplane and electric little vehicles, right? And the fact that grown men, that we should be retired, or we should be having good jobs with pensions already paid, and just living in the lap of luxury here in the richest country in the world, especially those of us who have been citizens since the day we were born, and we shouldn't have to be doing the gig economy, right? That was another takeaway. You know, the statistic that I've heard not too long ago is that 50% of all the men that are working, mind you, not all the men are working here in the United States, but 50% of the ones who are working in the gig economy. And it's not easy. You find plenty of YouTube channels out there with people sleeping in their cars. I did it for 3 months before when I was in LA. I was sleeping in my music studio and sleeping in my car. But anyhow, it was trippy. It was fun. It was a fun dream. I guess nothing too spectacular, but I wanted to put it on record. And if I remember anything else, I'll come back and add on to it. But that's about all I can remember, man. It's been a few hours since I woke up And I was having a dream in the morning. Usually I have these dreams because I'll sleep in late because I work late. But the homie woke me up at 8 o'clock, called me to ask me a question on WhatsApp, and then I went back to sleep. Woke up about 10:30 in the morning. So I would say it was between 8 and 10:30. And that's usually when you have the best dreams. And that's why the man wants you working before those hours most of the time, most of your jobs. But if you ever want to have some trippy dreams, do some substances the night before and make sure you're asleep between like 8 and 11, 7 and 11. And you're going to get some really cool dreams that you can remember. Anyhow, thanks for watching, man. Those of you that stayed to the end, appreciate you. Subscribe, like, drop a comment.